All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. It is Thursday, January 19th. We got 5 games on the NBA slate here like we do in each and every video. I'm going to jump into each game. I'm going to give you my lean, give you what I'm thinking, but if you're looking for my final plays, if you want to ride with me, jump on board. But if you want to fade me, all those plays will be in the pinned comment, updated throughout the day, so make sure to check that out, guys. But yeah, 5 games, pretty decent slate. We're going to jump into each of these, a couple close spread games, which I think will be interesting. But before we do that, I am going to talk to you guys about potentially becoming a baller. Number one way to support the channel, guys. Also, you get a couple different perks. Obviously, like every YouTube channel, you get an emblem next to your name, emojis that you can use in the comments. But what we really do and really thrive on here and make strides to get better and better at is the models that we are producing each and every day in the series that we're jumping into to try and let you guys know how you can become more analytical bettors and just better bettors overall, right? So guys, instead of just showing you this over here, why don't I just pop up what I'm talking about here? So each and every day we do have a model that comes out. This is a screenshot of yesterday's. We have a lean on the spread and a lean on the total for you guys, totally for you to use in your research, not to follow blindly by any means. We have a player points, rebounds, and assists model, taking Vegas's line, taking what the numbers say their line should be, and then letting you guys know the difference so you can use that in your research as well. And then brand new, we have the VTPs, which are the value trend plays. That is brand new. Yesterday was the first day we're doing it, and this is a lot of work, so it's just for overs as of right now. But points, rebounds, assists, steals, blocks, and then PRA, guys. 6 categories that we are scathing the internet, whatever the hell the word is, guys. Looking for guys that in the last 3 weeks of their games have hit the over their line in 60% or more of their games. And this is the kicker, guys. And they're playing against a defense that is in the top 10 for most allowed in that category. So Jalen Brunson playing Washington last night. He had hit that over in his last 3 weeks or so, 87% of times. Well, Washington was a top blank at most points allowed to his position, the point guard position. So make sure to become a baller today, guys. I think there's a lot of value in that. And yeah, let's go ahead and jump into the first game here, guys. We got Chicago traveling to Detroit here. Detroit 6.5 point dogs on their own floor here. Total sitting at 236.5, which is way up there. I'll tell you right away, I do think that this is a game that could get sloppy and could result in an under. So I'm going to lean under in this game. In terms of a spread, I'm going to lean Chicago, but it worries me a little bit. We saw Chicago kind of start to go on a run. They beat Brooklyn, Philly, and then another decent team, and all of a sudden lost like OKC and Washington back-to-back. So they kind of, you know, let off the brakes a little bit, or let off the gas. We're all over the place in today's video, but I am going to lean Chicago, but it does worry me a little bit that they have been a little bit inconsistent. Now they are getting, or it looks like DeMar DeRozan is probable in this game, which obviously is a plus for them. Detroit has a plethora of injuries, Bogdanovich being the most notable. He is upgraded to probable. Jalen Duren is questionable. Corey Joseph questionable. Nerlens Noel questionable. Hamidou Diallo upgraded to probable. Marvin Bagley still out. And obviously, Cade Cunningham out for the season, guys. But I'm going to lean Chicago here minus the points. But I like the under a little bit more in this game for sure. Next game, we're looking at Boston hosting Golden State. My Boston Celtics 6-point favorites here at home. Total sitting at a whopping 237.5, but that is not to say that these teams cannot get there. We've seen these two teams battle it out plenty of times, both on the offensive end and the defensive end, which makes this matchup so interesting. Last time they played was back in December. Boston, that was a Jason Tatum bad game. Golden State 123 to 107, and then we all know how the finals went as well. But this Boston team may be starting to turn things around. The last 10 games, 8-2. They're 3-0 at home. 6 points is a decent amount to account for here, but it looks like Klay Thompson is questionable in this one. That could be a huge hit. And then Jaylen Brown also questionable. So you're gonna want to see how the injuries kind of play out when it comes to this game. But honestly, I think this could be a revenge game for Boston. Am I biased? Maybe. I don't really think this is a biased pick if I'm being completely honest, but I do think the Celtics come for blood in this game after kind of getting embarrassed. Remember back in December when they played, early December, this is a Celtics team that was like the best in the league, which they still, you know, are. But this team was blowing the doors off everyone. This Golden State game was a statement game, and Golden State kind of pantsed them. I think it's going to stick with the Celtics, and then I'm going to lean a slight over here. I don't think the over becomes a final play. Don't expect that in the pinned comments, but I do lean Celtics here at -6. All right, Toronto traveling to Minnesota here. Minnesota 3.5 point dogs on their home floor. Total sitting at 231.5. These two teams yet to play this season. In their last 10 games, Toronto 5-5 against the spread. Minnesota, kind of surprisingly, 6-4 against the spread. They've had 7 of those games at home. They're 4-3 against the spread at home here. Toronto, not doing the same thing against the spread, but I would say in their last handful of games they're playing a little bit better, but not on the road. Minnesota 6-3 against spread and straight up in their last 9. But one thing I do like about this is that the under is hitting 4 of the last 5 times these two teams have played, and a 230 under for two teams that we've seen very inconsistently on the pace charts this year. I don't mind the under. Now, does that mean that this becomes a final play? I haven't gotten myself there yet. I do think that I like the Minnesota side of things better. I think that Minnesota is probably more likely to be, I don't know, maybe 2-point underdogs in this game, so you're getting a point and a half of value, at least in terms of the numbers that I've crunched. So I'm going to lean Minnesota here. It's going to come down to a couple injuries, though. Rudy Gobert is questionable. Toronto, no major injuries on their end, but Minnesota, yeah, they've covered 2 of their last 3 games. They did lose to Denver. Was it last night they lost to Denver, or was it the night before? I'm all over the place this video, apologies guys, but they still covered that game. They're like double-digit underdogs against Denver, so I think that Minnesota may be finding something here. Like I said, 6-4 in their last 10 games here, so I like them and the under in this game. Next up, we have the Nets taking on the Suns. Totals 222.5 right now. Suns 1.5-point dogs at home. We have a lot of home dogs today, guys. Make sure to keep an eye on that, because sometimes those dogs be barking. The last time these two teams played was last season. Phoenix won 121-111, but that was a little bit different of a Phoenix team. Now, this Brooklyn team was on a roll. They were on an absolute roll. Now they've lost 3 straight. Boston, I'll give you that. That's a really good team. You lost to them. But then OKC, they lose by 10. And San Antonio, they lose by 8. Both of those games, they were favorites. And Kyrie Irving now questionable in this game. No one really is playing for the Suns, right? Devin Booker's out. Chris Paul's questionable here, which maybe they got him tonight. But I do think that the Suns team at home, I'm going to say the psycho alarm is sounded. I like the Suns here at home to cover, possibly win this game outright, honestly. And I also like the under as well. A lot of unders on the leans today. But moving on to the next game. Last game we have here is Portland hosting Philly here. This is a 2.5-point spread. Totals at 233, which sounds really high, but is it for these two teams? I'm not quite sure. They have not played in quite some time. Portland not looking too great in their last 10, 3-7 against spread, but at home in their last 5, 3-2. So clearly they're playing pretty well at home. Philly 8-2 straight up in their last 10. The over has hit. Like I said, is it that crazy that this is a 233 total when you think that these two teams, can play slower at times? 8 of their last 9 games, Philly, who, would not shock you if you looked at their pace numbers, but might shock you just with the eye test. The over has hit in 8 of those 9 games. In the last 6 times these two teams have played, or 6 of the last 7, excuse me, this has hit the over. So I am going to lean the over in this game as well. And then honestly, I do think that this game stays close, so it makes me want to lean towards Portland, because I think that this could be a back and forth type of a game. 2.5 points. I wish it was a little bit more. Maybe we shop around for a better line or something like that, but I am going to lean Portland very slightly in this one, guys. It's going to come down to Yusuf Nurkic as well. I think that if he doesn't play, he has sat out. Also, he's probable tonight, so it looks like he's going to play. I think that Embiid could have his way and put this game away, but yeah, we're going to lean towards Portland in this one, very slight lean, and then also take a peek at that over. And guys, that is going to wrap it up for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hit that subscribe button if you did, like the video, and then let me know who you're rolling with in the comments down below. Probably get back to the ride of the days tomorrow. Also, FYI, we will be traveling this week, and we'll still trying to get the videos out, but just not with the setup and whatnot. But you guys know we're one to not let that stop us. We'll do the car video if we have to. We'll do a video in an airport like we did a couple weeks ago. But guys, that's all we got for you today. Hope you guys do enjoy. Peace out.